Hey, this is John Malkin with the rock band, The Simple Radicals. So we have this really cool show called Music and a Brew, where we talk about two of our favorite things in life, music and brew. Each show, we talk to some of the best musicians and music industry folks and discover some of the best craft beers and breweries across America. We'll also learn about their craft, what makes their beer so special. Let's face it, there's absolutely nothing better than chatting music over a nice cold brew. And sometimes you learn some things that may never have been revealed before.
On today's episode of Music and a Brew, John chats with Grammy Award winner Jose Feliciano, writer of Feliz Navidad, and talk about his new album, Behind This Guitar. Jose shares a couple of incredible stories over the course of his career while having a couple of ice-cold beers, courtesy of Little Red Barn Brewers. During the show, we interview Little Red Barn co-founder Nils Johnson and learn more about their beer and operation located in Winstead, Connecticut.
Here we are in Winstead, Connecticut, home of the Little Red Barn Brewers. This place started out as a small, teeny Little Red Barn that brewed beer. And now look at this place. It's a big old barn. Let's go in and meet the owners who brew this incredible magic. John Malkin with Music and a Brew.
Nathan, nice to meet you.
Nathan.
Matt, nice to meet you.
Matt, what a pleasure. Wow, what a place. This is fantastic.
Welcome.
So, great to be here. So you guys went from a little barn to a huge barn in Winstead, Connecticut. Talk to me about that evolution. This is it's a great story. Tell me about it.
We started out as a little brew club in Nils's father's old horse barn, and just kind of kept getting bigger and bigger.
Fantastic.
And now we're here.
Fantastic. And how many beers do you guys brew now?
Oh boy.
We usually have 14 on tap or so.
Is that right? And the most popular one, would you say, is what? I mean, I'm looking at this menu, and there's some incredible beers here. The Squire Tavern Ale, the Cow Tip and Copper, some great names. You also have a beer that you use like coconut and pineapple.
Yes,
What's
the
that?
Little Red Palm Tree.
Little Red Palm Tree.
Yeah.
And I think your number one selling beer is the Mad River Pilsner.
It is.
Correct, it is.
Fantastic. And the beer is brewed right behind this bar, if I'm not
Sure
mistaken.
is.
Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, they're twins, okay?
Obviously.
So what happened?
It may have been a mix-up.
Yeah. But there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into this place. How long did it take you to put this together?
Oh boy.
Well, it was a few years from the time we decided to go for it. And the time we took the building over, it was about a year with all the build out before we got open.
Fantastic. And before this became what it is today, it was just a vacant, it was a...
Yeah, it
It
was
sat
abandoned.
empty for 20 years.
Yeah, for 20 years.
20 years. Stewart, what was it before this?
In the 1800s, it was a tool manufacturing company called Winstead Tool Works.
Oh my God.
They made tools here. Actually, we have a chisel that was made here, right here.
That's
Yeah,
it.
one of
Oh,
our-
I love it. I love it. Welcome to another Music and a Brew show. I am your host, John Malkin, with the rock band, The Simple Radicals, and we are at Factory Underground Studios talking music and a brew, and we have our brewer, the brew side of Music and a Brew. We have Nils Johnson from the Little Red Barn Brewers in Winstead, Connecticut. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Welcome to the show. You have a really interesting background of how you got to where you are today and all that, and some of these stories are really funny. So you work with two twin brothers.
The Hop Brothers, yeah.
They you call them the Hop Brothers?
Hop. They love IPAs.
HOP.
HOP.
Yeah. Not the Hot Brothers.
No.
The Hop Brothers.
They
Okay.
think they are, but
Yeah, Matt and Nate, and they caught the brew bug early, which is a funny story, by just making beer through a craft beer kit.
yeah, Matt's wife bought him a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas, gosh, at this point, 13, 14 years ago. And he made the most horrific beer ever.
Nice.
But we fell in love with the process.
Yeah, and do you serve that beer now, that most horrific beer? Or?
No, we like to stay in business.
That's good. Yeah, good call. Good call. And so tell me a little bit about, as you guys were progressing with this beer, or progressing with this brewery, and it started developing, did you have a lot of support? I mean, was your wife, were they into this, or?
No, they liked the fact that we would get out of the house and spend time together, but eventually they got overwhelmed by the beer smell that we had in the different homes.
Yes.
So we got kicked out of our houses, and we had to find a new location, which happened to be a Little Red Barn on my parents' property. It was previously a horse barn for my sister many, many years ago.
Hence, that's how you got the name Little Red Barn.
Hence, how we got the name.
When you were under the age of 21, because when you're under the age of 21, kids, you can't drink, obviously. So to get around that, in lieu of buying beer, you just
bought the ingredients. You could go to any beer hobby store and it's legal to buy the different ingredients.
Okay, so note to selves, if you want to drink beer and you can't buy it, you just make it.
It's really that simple, but kids, don't try this at home because I'm, at the time and now, I'm a professional.
That's right.
And it wasn't a good example of what, well, it had alcohol in it. It was the only saving grace.
Yes,
and when you're a teenager, that's all that matters.
Very cool.
For years, we went from a club to a brewery in training. We did all these different festivals to try to build our brand. And long and short of it, none of us had any time to take it to the next level. I finally got laid off from a job that I took to get my wife through nursing school. I called her and on the ride home and said, honey, guess who finally got laid off? She goes, congratulations.
Ah.
And my wife, who never swears, said, go open your bleeping brewery. You made my dream happen. Now it's your turn.
Wow. And here we are.
And here we are.
Fantastic. And you guys have been open for how long now?
So July 3rd will be our 2-year anniversary.
Fantastic. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Wow. And you bought an array of beers. These are very cool. Go ahead. Tell us what we got here.
Well, so we brought a whole variety today. So we brought a Mad River Pilsner,
all right,
which is a traditional German-style Pilsner, just crisp, clean, really easy drinking. Also brought the Lawn Chair, which is a session IPA. Like it sounds, you can drink it all day in your lawn chair while you watch others do your work for you. It's perfect. We have our Hazy Days, which is your traditional New England style IPA. Has a nice little citrus finish to it, so it's going to be hazy in color.
Nice.
And then you finish off with the now famous, if I could be so bold, the Little Red Palm Tree, which is our
I love that beer.
our liquid summer.
All right, let's pour a beer because I want to sample this. It's first of all, it smells amazing in here because I know you're brewed today.
We are brewing today.
I smell this incredible malt aroma that's just, it's just.
Brew day is great.
Oh, it's just thick and it's beautiful. What are we pouring today, my friend?
We have our Pilsner, since we were just talking about it.
What's in it? How do we brew this thing?
This is the lightest beer we brew pretty much, other than our lager, which is pretty close. And this uses actually some local malt. All our Pils malt we get from Thrall Family Farm up in the Windsor, Granby area.
Nice.
In Connecticut.
Very good. Very good.
It's very traditional as far as the hops. It's Hallertauer and Saaz. Just
very
a
cool.
Clean, crisp, light beer.
Oh, let's go. Gentlemen, cheers.
Thank you
for having us. God, that's good. Oh, cold. Beautiful. Wow. The musical guest today, he is a pioneer, a music legend, writer, singer, composer, even an actor. He has more Grammys than he could hold.
I can't wait for this.
Jose Feliciano.
Are you kidding me?
Jose Feliciano, baby.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Matter of fact, Jose is right here, right now. Jose, come on to the set of Music and a Brew. Let's talk music and brew. Legend, music, composer, musician, singer, Jose Feliciano, and brewmaster Nils Johnson from the Little Red Barn Breweries in Winstead, Connecticut. Thank you for both coming on the set of Music and a Brew show.
Well, I try never to miss a good opportunity to try homemade brews.
What kind of beer do you think we should pour for Jose?
I hear through the grapevine what Yingling's one of your favorites, so I would suggest maybe a Mad River Pilsner.
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
Amy, do you want to crack open a little Mad River Pilsner for Jose? And this is the Hazy Days New England IPA.
Bring out those hazy, lazy, crazy days.
And this is for you. I'm going to put this in your hand.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
What are you drinking?
Session IPA, the lawn chair.
Session IPA.
The
I'm going
lawn
to clink
chair,
glasses
huh?
with you, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's good. Wow, you like?
That is really good.
That's good.
It has the dryness and yet the sweetness all blended in.
To have a legend drink my beer and say that, you just absolutely made my day.
Yeah.
It's really good beer.
Let me stroke your ego for a second, if you don't mind. And I don't mean that in a...
No. I learned that my ego can't be stroked too much, because otherwise God in his infinite mercy will take things away from me.
Okay.
So you can stroke my ego all you like.
You've released over 50 albums worldwide in both English and Spanish. Your album Feliciano reached #2 on the music charts in the United States. We're going to talk about some of your iconic classic songs. You have the rendition of Light My Fire by the Doors. I want to talk to you about your the Star Spangled Banner, which is an amazing story. And there's a song you might have heard of called Feliz Navidad.
You know, I wrote Feliz Navidad because my producer at the time, Rick Gerard, said, Jose, you ought to write a new Christmas song. And I said, you know, Rick, I don't know. There's too many good Christmas songs out there. Irving Berlin's White Christmas,
Right.
which they sung in South Africa a lot.
Right.
I don't know. I just didn't feel that I could write a Christmas song that would be sung by everybody on Christmas.
And you mentioned the Star Spangled Banner. That was in 1968 at the World Series in Detroit. If you get a chance, go online and watch and listen to this rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, which people today, it's not controversial because a lot of people, you know, from the Beyoncés, everyone come out and they do their own renditions of that. But back in 1968, it was when you did your own rendition, which is unfreaking believable, but you got a lot of heat for that.
I did. But I must say, I love the way that Beyonce did the Ray Charles song, Hit the Road, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, you know, Ray is trying to say in the song, hey, baby, don't worry, I'll make money again, la, la, la. And she goes, I don't care, because it's understood.
Right.
You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
That's right.
Ray Charles was an inventive genius.
Right.
And people are going to wonder, well, why are you talking so much about Ray Charles? Because he was my hero, man. He showed me that there was a way of me as a blind person getting out of where I was.
Right. I want to step back to when there was a story I read, and I think it's a story you like to tell. When you were in the village, you were born blind. You were in Puerto Rico. You
As
moved,
far as I know.
as far as you know, yes. But you were born in Puerto Rico. You moved to the States, and then when you were 17, from what I read, you literally went out on your own to perform to help support your family.
Yes, I did. It was interesting. I lived in the village. I performed most every night in the summer.
Right.
My favorite song was Hot Town, Summer in the City, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Hot time, it's a little pity. Great song.
Great song.
And so I liked groups like the Mamas and Papas.
Right.
And I'm grateful to Quint Tarantino for using my version of California Dreamin'.
Yes, absolutely. There's a great story, and I think you tell it. You were performing in the village, and this might have led to kind of your breakthrough / discovery. You were imitating Bob Dylan?
Well, I did have a Bob Dylan.
And Bob Dylan was in the audience?
Yeah, he was. Because every night Bob Dylan would come to Gertie's Folk City,
That's it.
where I started, and he would drink a lot of wine.
Okay.
And so I used to have an impression that I used to do.
Could you do it?
Come gather around, people, and join me in a Coke.
That's it.
It's a new thing in China. If you don't dig how to smoke,
That's it.
you take an Excedrin and drop it in your Coke. and your head will start spinning, believe me. It's no joke.
Some of your accolades and awards, and I've only probably just highlighted a few. You're recognized as the illustrious Ponce Citizens Plaza of the Parque del help me out this, Tricentenario in Ponce?
Yes, a campanario. That was the bell tree.
The bell tree,
Yeah.
right. You were awarded the El Premio Billboard Award.
Yeah, I did. I got the Billboard Award when it wasn't on television.
That's amazing. And then the numerous Grammys, of course, including, this is back in 1968 when you were just a young Turk. Best New Artist and Best Pop Male Performance. You won the Grammy Legend Award. You won the Lifetime Latin Grammy Achievement Award.
Yep.
You're in the International Latin Music Hall of Fame. You're inducted into the Latin Songwriters Hall of Fame. You have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You even have a school named after you in New York City.
Yes, and I have to thank my record producer, who's still a dear friend, Rudy Perez.
Well, your whole life, you've probably, what's helped shape Jose Feliciano, is the people that you've surrounded yourself with.
Definitely.
You probably do feel very fortunate.
And I'm very fortunate. I gotta tell you, by the way, this beer is really good.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, Nils is extremely happy to hear that.
Yeah, is he General Mills?
He'd be General Nils, but yes.
And nobody took him seriously.
That's it. All right, so how does this process start?
We have to crush the grain, first of all. So we'll crush the grain in our mill, and then it will go into this funny door tank called a mash tun. And it will sit there, the grain, with hot water, about 150, 154. It'll sit there for an hour with the grain. And during that time, it's pulling the sugars out of the grain. So it's like a sugary tea almost. And it gets that color. If it's a light Pilsner malt, it'll be light like we're drinking now. If it's a darker beer with like chocolate grains or roasted barley, it'll be a dark looking color to it. It tastes sweet and sugary. And then once that piece is done for that hour, then we pump that over to our boil kettle. The grain will stay behind, and we'll hoe it out for the farmers, and the clear liquid stays behind. And then we boil it for about an hour. And during that hour boil, we'll throw hops in it if it's an IPA at different intervals, or even dark beers we do different hops for. And then once that boils over, we send it into our fermenters with yeast to ferment.
Very cool. So you use a lot of the local vendors and businesses around here for your ingredients.
We do. One of the big ones we use is a Thrall Family Farm. They're up in the Windsor-Granby area here in Connecticut. We get all our Pils malt from them and a few other malts, and they are the oldest working farm, I think, in the country.
Yeah,
What?
In the country.
Yeah.
That's
Dating
crazy.
back to 1600s. Yeah.
That's amazing. So if you had to describe in 100 words or less, in a few words, what really separates your guys' beer, the Little Red Barn beer, from everyone else's?
I think the biggest thing here is the variety. You get everything from a light beer, malty beer, hoppy beer, dark beer. You know, we try to have something on for everybody all the time.
Nice. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
What a pleasure.
Thank you.
God, that's good. Can we talk about there's a song you wrote. It was kind of a revenge song. You were playing, this is going back a couple years, you were playing the United Kingdom, and this is when you brought your service dog in, but they wouldn't let you bring your service dog in.
Oh, you mean no dogs allowed?
No dogs allowed, because this is a crazy story. They wanted you to quarantine your dog for 6 months. So people who have COVID get quarantined for less, but they wanted to quarantine your service dog for 6 months.
Yep. I didn't know that foreign animals were not allowed in the country.
Ah, jeez.
And they changed their laws.
Right.
And people who are blind have the dogs now. And I'm not going to take credit for that.
Right.
But if my song helped them start that school, I am honored.
Yes.
And I'm glad I could do something for other people instead of for me.
I want to talk about another song, which obviously many people are familiar with. It's The Doors, which again, go online or buy the album. when you sang Light My Fire, the Doors rendition of it, which is just hauntingly amazing. Tell me about the inspiration and why you decided to pick that song.
Well, I picked that song, one, because I liked it. And also my producer, Rick Gerard, liked the song.
Okay.
And I had one of the greatest bass players on that recording, and that was Ray Brown.
Ray Brown.
And I don't care what, but to me, Ray Brown was God when it came to playing bass. And so when I recorded Michelle, I had to remember some of the things that Ray Brown played, and so I played them.
Wow. Then we have to talk about a song that gets played quite frequently a certain time of year, Feliz Navidad. Familiar with that, I'm sure.
No, I never heard the song.
Never heard of it? It's really good. You should check. It's amazing.
Thank you. Let me just say that I wrote it on a whim.
Okay. I was going to ask you how long it took you to write.
Well, it took me about, let's say 15 minutes. You know, isn't it something when you're asked and you're assigned to write something, you have no problem with it.
Right.
It's only when you have to come up with it completely on your own and you don't know where to go.
Right.
But I'm happy that I wrote Feliz Navidad.
So let me ask you an honest question. Be honest, because do you ever get tired of singing that song, or you're like, I mean, heck, it's an incredible tune, but do you ever get a little fatigued by it, or are you just like, no, I'm good. I'm keep chugging along with this.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I get fatigued by it because I say, why should I sing this in the summertime? Right. But I do.
Good.
And I enjoy it. And my favorite version of this song was done by Nat Cole.
Okay.
And the Ike Cole trio. You know, he had a jazz trio.
Okay.
Nat.
All right.
And he was a fabulous pianist.
Right. What song, you have so many songs, what song do you love to play live the most? What's your favorite song that you just look so forward to?
Well, I like playing Believe Me When I Tell You, because I wrote it for Susie, my wife.
Oh, Susie.
Susie Q.
Susie Q. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
And I wrote this song with her in mind, and because the lyrics are, believe me when I tell you that I can't live without your love another minute.
Amy is going to pour us, top you off with some more beer. What are you pouring there, Ames?
We're pouring the Mad River Pilsner.
Mad River Pilsner.
All
Amy's
right.
our roadie chef. I'm going to get that right over to you. There you go, my friend.
Thank you, Amy.
Cheers. You make beer in your barn, right? Didn't
I did.
You did? What kind of beer did you brew?
It was just beer, but my stepfather, Henry LeGros, would put a few grains of raw rice in it.
Raw rice, okay.
And it would give it a tremendous boost.
Nils, take some notes on this, my brother. He's got, okay. Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Very cool. We have a little segment called Quick Hops, which basically means I'm going to ask you some questions. You don't have a lot of time to think about it, so the first word that comes to your mind, you just throw it out at me, all right?
All right.
All right, here we go. Who is your favorite band or musician?
Men at Work.
Really?
Who can it be now?
Your least favorite genre of music? Least favorite?
I don't think I have any.
Okay. What song do you wish you had written?
Killing Me Softly.
Really? Okay. What band or musician, dead or alive, would you have liked to have toured with?
Men at Work.
Men at Work. Wow,
Yeah.
you really like those guys. I mean, great band. What is one ritual that you do before you go on stage? Anything, green M&Ms, anything funky?
I'll tell you what I used to do, but I don't know more. And that is, I used to smoke before I went on stage,
Okay.
but I stopped it because I got hung up. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I got hung up on a lick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got that.
And I said, Jose, you can't do this anymore. You can't be playing one lick for a whole hour.
There's some bands that actually make their careers out of doing that.
I know. Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, there you go. All right, one more question for you. If you could invite anyone over to your house for dinner, dead or alive, who would it be? Who would you want sitting at your dinner table?
Vladimir Putin.
Well, he's still around. We could,
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think I have his cell
And
number.
then I'd like to be able, through a translator,
Yeah.
tell him what I think.
Oh, I knew where this is going. What would you tell Putin?
Stop trying to rule the world.
Wow.
That's what I'd tell him.
That's right. And you've traveled all over the world. And
Yes.
let me ask you another question. Your favorite country that you've ever performed in? What would you say that was?
I would have to say Australia.
Wow. There's an Australian kind of tone going on here with Men at
Well,
Work. And,
it's a gorgeous country.
yeah.
And when you eat oysters in Australia,
Yeah.
they taste the best.
Really? Jose Feliciano, I mean, what a true honor and privilege for me. And I speak on behalf of everyone who's involved with this incredible show, Music in a Brew. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for inviting
gosh.
me.
It's so great to
And-
have you as a new friend, and you're an inspiration to so many people. Thank you for everything you do.
Well, when you make some newer beers, invite me again.
Consider it done, my friend.
Okay.
Consider it done. Jose Feliciano, music legend, composer, actor too. We can talk about that. Writer. Thank you. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely.
All
Music
right.
in a Brew with the Simple Radicals. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay radical. We'll see you next time.